Ethiopia and Kenyans, we are brothers.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Liv Kenya and I'm traveling with my friends Patrick and Hadia, and this is the Ethiopian road trip series. In our last 2 episodes, Hadia and I explored the attractions in Hausen and Aksum. We also mentioned that Patrick set off on a separate adventure, and today we'll be retracing his journey. But before we dive in, let's rewind to where it all began. After wrapping up our 3-day adventure in Danakil, we dropped Patrick off in Mekele, where he caught a flight back to Addis Ababa. Please note that at the time of our travel, a road trip across the northern Ethiopia was not possible due to ongoing regional conflicts in some areas. The only way to reach towns like Semera, Mekele, Lalibela and Gonda was by local flights, all departing from Addis Ababa. There was no direct flights between these smaller towns, and as such, travelers had to return to Addis Ababa before connecting to their next destination. Patrick arrived in Addis Ababa later that evening and spent the night in the city before catching his morning flight to Lalibela. Here is a quick look at his room, a simple yet elegant space equipped with all the essential amenities. The next morning, he woke up early to prepare for his flight to Lalibela. After freshening up and packing up, he headed down to the hotel's restaurant for breakfast. He enjoyed a classic English breakfast that felt like such a treat after spending the past few days out in the desert. After breakfast, his driver picked him up and dropped him off at Bole International Airport to catch his flight. From the aerial view, as you can see guys, northern Ethiopia is incredibly mountainous and scenic. Taking a flight almost felt like a loss, especially for road trip lovers like us. Missing the chance to drive through and fully experience this breathtaking landscape was indeed painful. But we hope to return someday when it's safe to journey across by road. Upon landing at Lalibela airport, Patrick was met by a driver who took him to his accommodation in town. The airport itself sits on relatively flat ground, but the drive to Lalibela town climbs steadily uphill. As you'll notice, most of the town settlements are perched along the hillsides. Lalibela is a small but vibrant highland town, best known for its ancient rock-hewn churches and breathtaking scenery. Beyond its history, Patrick noticed how alive the town felt. There were schools filled with students and a strong presence of humanitarian organizations working closely with the community. His first stop was his accommodation for the night. Here is a quick tour of his room. Please note that we visited Ethiopia in June, which is off-season month for the country. That is why his hotel looks fairly empty. In high season, however, Lalibela is often packed and finding a room can be quite challenging. If you'd like a more relaxed experience, visiting during the off-season might be the best choice. Later, he headed to Kana restaurant for lunch. The spot is famous for its incredible views of the surrounding landscape, and it is especially popular at sunset. If you're in Lalibela, this is definitely a place worth visiting for both the food and the scenery. Besides its breathtaking views, Kana offers rich cultural experiences including the traditional Ethiopian coffee ceremony. Its menu showcases a variety of local specialties, from injera paired with flavorful stews to other regional favorites. It is the perfect spot to enjoy authentic Ethiopian cuisine while immersing yourself in the beauty of the landscape.
My name is Mengistu. I am working from in Lalibela tour guide and the member of we are in association to here. I was born here, I grew here, and then this is 8 years working by this profession. This is a place of Lasta. That means the second dynasty in Ethiopia next to Aksum, but 930 up to 1270. Totally 333 years Ethiopian calendar. Totally there are 11 kings. Among the 4 is king and the priests. The name of the king is King Medhane, King Gabriel-Rafael, King Lalibela, King Nagotola. So the 4 is different from the other one because of they have a vision from Jesus and then they make second Jerusalem. That's why people they travel to Jerusalem was before the history for Lalibela making the churches. So when that time they don't have any transportation, they don't have any compasses. So people they travel to Jerusalem, they died everywhere. But in the 4 kings they travel to Jerusalem, they come back to Ethiopia, they making second Jerusalem. So today we'll show the project of King Lalibela. So Lalibela he was born 90 just like in that in January 7 1101 but when that time the day of in January 7, that's why the day of Jesus, the Christmas of Jesus, that's why Lalibela the same day of he was born in the same day of Jesus. That's why King Lalibela he was born start from that. So all but is covered by bees. All bodies covered by bees. But with that time, her mother to say to Lal means honey, so Bella means eater, so Lalibela means honey eater. So Lalibela he studied church schools and traveled to Jerusalem. He lived in 13 years in Jerusalem. When come back to Ethiopia, they get a vision from Jesus, they make a second Jerusalem. That's why everything is like in supporting by angels. So they make all 11 churches have 3 groups. They make all 11 churches will have 3 groups. So the first group is have 6 churches to here. The second group is will have in that mountain 4 churches. For the third group is in down there Saint George cross shape. So all 11 churches make by 12th century. But King Lalibela they make by 12th century. It's a very old. It's 900 years old. But Lalibela they making the churches rock churches in underground. So he have chiseling on by hand. Yes. All the churches covered underground. It is connecting in the biblical meanings. So this is northeastern group. This is the first group as will have 6 churches. They representing of earthly Jerusalem or Jesus activity on the land. So this is on rock. So this is made by the shelters by UNESCO 2008 because of Lalibela inscribed by UNESCO 1978. After that UNESCO they cover all the supporting to the project. So this is the water systems connect from the ground. But when you see from the church, so you can see from the churches, but the churches they chiseling on the top to come down. But this is like in rock churches. So this is the name of the church's house of Medhane or Bete Emmanuel. So this is the second project of King Lalibela. So this is the largest and the biggest church in the world. It's made by rock. It's monolithic churches. It's mono means a single rock. You can round all sides. It is freestanding. So the church is having 72 pillars inside and outside. So when you look from outside, they will have 34 pillars, and inside is 38, totally 72, the disciple of Jesus or the student of Jesus. So these churches, it's a big, and then representing of Abraham tent. The churches having the look from the window, from the upper side like oval, that's Aksumite design. From the ground one, it's like in cross shape, Jesus crucified on the cross. But the churches, King Lalibela, they learned from Aksum in the civilization or some architectural designers. They're using the top of their in oval, on the ground one is like in a cross. It's like in a cross shape, Jesus crucified on the cross. But Lalibela, they will have 3 types of churches. First one is monolithic. Mono means a single rock, you can round all sides. And the second one is semi-monolithic, when that one is like an attaching from the main rock. But the third one is Cape Church. So we'll have 3 churches in Lalibela, 3 type of churches. The church is in rectangular. So before the shelter, the water is coming from in the roof, touching the pillars to come down. But with that time, with the pillars collapsing 6th century from the left and the right sides, but the northern and the southern part of the ring, they are broken in 16th century. So you can see from this side, this is not original totally from this side. So you can see from this side, this is all they are original. Because of the water touching the pillars, that's why it's like in year to year, it's collapsing or broken to the left and right sides. But east and west is still original. They can see that thing because of they are connected from one rocks. So in Ethiopian Orthodox churches, they will have 3 sections, and the 3 sections, the one of them, the section that is just chanting from this side. This one is they will have the materials, drums, sticks, or sitrams. They use in the priest. Just like in a dancing, people they surrounding. Yes. So the women and the men is surrounding from the left and right sides. Yes. So this is we can invite anyone to women and the man to looking from that in the service. Yeah. That's a special sections from the ground. They only allow the priest and deacons. Okay. Without the priest and deacon, nobody go there. Yeah. But they will have 3 sections: chanting, holy of Holy. It is the largest and the biggest church in the world. So the name of the church is House of Medhane or Bete Emmanuel. Bete means house, Medhane means the Holy River. So this church will have 38 pillars inside of here. So this is connecting by arches because of they are supporting from in the roof. But the roof is you can look from the middle of there. It's just like an arc. The shape of the churches is just like an arc. But this is dividing from the water systems north and south. That's why they have to collapsing from the north and the south pillars. Look from this one. This is the 3 graves or cemeteries in here. But this is a symbol of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob from here. But this is a symbol actually. King Lalibela, they're making full meaning of in second Jerusalem. That's why they're making everything's like the name of in Jerusalem. They're making from that time Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, the 3 and holy fathers they make from this. So the name of the king is in the first one is King Medhane, the second one is King Bete Maryam, the third one is King Lalibela. That's why they're making the famous one, they're making all 11 churches. But the fourth one is King Nakutala. So the third one is King Lalibela, they make all 11 churches. So the rest of the kings they make in the monastery churches outside of Lalibela. But that's why there are 11 kings. Among the 40, they are different. Because of their vision from Jesus, they make in the second Jerusalem. So they are a dual works like king and a priest. And then they have a visions from Jesus, they make in second Jerusalem. Actually, this is the largest and the biggest church in the world to make by rock. Here is a very special places in January 7, 6 to 7, the whole nights they have a sacred dance from this group. So the priests surrounding on they have the top So it's like in the left side, it's two end. So the left and right sides there is the churches inside of here. So the priests they will have stand every year is 6 to 7 January 7. That's Christmas Ethiopia. But with that time, the people they will have to come invite more than 2 million people to come here. When that time, it's like in every year, it's very high season to come to here. But this is, when you see from here, so they'll have 3 churches. House of Cross, House of Mary, House of Virgin from that side. So there is 3 churches from this compound. So the one in the church in the middle, House of Mary, this is the first project of King Lalibela. So the churches have 1 gallery. The gallery is divided in 7 rooms, the 7 heavens. It's very colorful or highly decorated churches inside of here. The 2 churches, House of Cross and House of Virgin, it's very small churches. And the church is semi-monolithic. Because of we can see from the front sides, they are not rounding to that. That's why we call in semi-monolithic. In here, so there is 11 meters deep here. So this is fertility pool. The fertility pool. It's 11 meter deep. So women they have a supporting, holding 3 times, touching the water to that. So after that they get a child. They call in fertility pool. So this is 11 meter deep. Still they are at service. They have active.
And how do they float?
So they have a holding to through the material. So 3 times to put inside of the water. All birds touching there, they get the child. Fertility. It's like in baptism. That one is fertility. Yeah. This is like in baptism. Children to come in Christian to go. So this one is, they will have 10 arches. So this is 10 commandments, which is that time. So Moses received the 10 commandments at Mount Sinai. So this is Mount Sinai. There are 10 commandments. So this is very small churches, and the name of the church is in House of Cross. So the church is like in a cross shape. There are 10 arches, the 10 commandments. Right. The chanting outside. The 3 churches they're chanting outside because of inside is very narrow. So they will have 4 pillars inside of here, the 4 evangelists. So this is the name of the House of Cross. So this is the first project of King Lalibela. So the name of the church is House of Mary. It's very colorful or decorated churches. So when you see from the left and right side, we'll have a looking from in the gallery of the windows on the second. But in the church is having 12 pillars inside of here. So the 12 apostles. And the one of in the pillar, you can see from the middle, this is the different from the other one. This one is the light of pillars or Medhane. So this is Alpha and Omega. That's why this is the beginning and the end of the world. In the discovery from 6th century, from the middle of there. So this is when starting from 12th century, it's opening. They can see everyone to looking from teacher or in hand. So after 16th century, the one thing the priest they call his name is Alakazene. So it's closed, and because of he said he's giving the respect of the pillars from inside of here. It's covering by the cloth, so nobody touching, nobody look from that one. These churches have to have 1 stairs, 1 gallery from the top. So this is the way to the second gallery, but now it's not active to go to that because of what's the history. They will have everyone to go to there. So you can see that now it's closed. And there is the painting also that the Marys to looking from. This is 400 years ago before to paint. It's like in 16th century make. It's by goat skins, not like in a fresco painting. Actually, they will have a different paintings here, but in they have in styling of the painting. It's different. There is a cross and different crosses to that. They will have in because of the time of that they will have in different crosses, and then which is the. Look from there is a painting on the top.
What did they use to make this paint?
So they will have in different flowers, and then sometimes like in using animal bloods. So they because of the church, they know the behavior of the plants. So they have every plant they know the behavior of in which plant to do the picture, which plant to do medicine, which plant to do that. This is a stamp of King Lalibela. Still, they have stamps in the museum. So they make to them by. So when you visit a museum, maybe they will have any stamps to that in the museum because of some of the stuff they are collected from in. They put in 10% of the material we still will have in the museum.
Okay.
This is the crown church is calling it from this side. So we have one more, we can go to the top.
Okay.
So the two churches under the ground. So the churches, yeah. So this is first group. We'll have 6 churches here. But the second group churches in that side, that mountain. The cemetery or the grave of Lalibela inside of here, they called in Golgotha. That's why Jesus making they buried in the Golgotha. King Lalibela they buried also inside of in the symbol of that. So this is the real grave of King Lalibela. So they have the right side look from there is the apostles carving the rock. They take the right hand stick and the left hand's books. So this is Ark of Noah or Noah's Ark. Yeah, that's why as in Noah make a vote. So they live in they will have in 3 levels of the. You can see from the churches like have Noah's have the votes have 3 levels, an animal, and a plant, and human beings. So which is look from the churches the structure of the styles of have 3 levels. But the first level is animal, the second level is and plant, the third level is human being. But the time of Noah, they will have 40 days and 40 nights. They pray to that. Noah, he sent an eagles. The eagles, it doesn't come back again. The second time is he sent the pigeons. The pigeons taken the olives. From the left and right sides, there is 2 doors and a woman and a man from the 2 sides. But the rest of the windows is still in a closed window. Look from there. There are 9 saints. But the structure of the churches, it's a 15-meter long, but it's just like in a cross shape, 12 by 12 widths, and then no pillars inside and outside. So the church is in 15-meter and outside, which is inside is 13-meter, because of 2 meters having solid rocks in the top. And what I'm tell us in this is the last and the best project of King Lalibela, because of there is a gutter system in the roof of the water will have because of it's collecting from the all waters throughout from the system of the roof. But there are 12 windows from the top and the 12 apostles. This is the last and the best project of King Lalibela. So the name of the church is Saint George. It is representing of Ark of Noah or Noah's Ark. This is 13-meter open, but after here 2 meters roof thickness. So the churches look from have roofs like the crossing the 3, 1 and 2 and 3. From the fourth one is just like in a dome shape, not like from that side like in a dome shape, not flat, not like this. But this is the last and the best project of King Lalibela. This is the tool of box King Lalibela. This one is the box of King Lalibela. This is open and closed by a screw. This is original screw. And right side is from that time.
After visiting 5 churches on his first day, Patrick retired for the night. The following day, which was on a Sunday, he planned to explore more churches and experience a local church service.
They come too late, they will waiting from an outside because of already they start from the service inside of here. Okay. This is the end of the service, but it will be having everyone there. So today, especially in the Sunday, is a very good day, but this is today like in a day of in this church and house of Medhane Alem or Bete Emmanuel. Even every church they will have an own days, but this is a time of like they get in the Holy Communion inside of the churches and Holy Ashes and Holy Waters also. You see, people they want to go to inside of the church. It must be waiting for men until to finish the service. Actually, you can make a video on the picture also.
Celebration is about
the day of the church, that church. So if it's having the day of this church, it must be the masses from here. It's everyone, they will have it every own days in the month. But every Sunday they will have in every church the normal. Let's say a full every church. But in every church they will have own days. Every month of there. For example, today the calendar of 27, the day of that church. If it's have before 5 days, the day of this church. Just like 21 Mary, 27 Jesus, 10 House of Cross. You know, 1 is Virgin,
Yes.
and 19 is like in Gabriel. So 23 is just like in Saint George. So look from the water, but people they have to take in the fresh water in the home. But there is inside it, there is a cross. What I told that crosses, they will touch in that cross. So they just like in taking the home. That's like satisfied to drink to make right side. The woman is staying from the right side, the man is from that the left side. Even if inside of the churches, I will show in after finishing this. It's totally inside is very full now. Inside is very full. When you stand over here, you can see from people to how to go to the church. They will have 3 sections. First one is chanting. The second one is holy. But the second stage is holy. But they only standing from the priest, so they giving the holy communion inside of there. But in the third one is after the curtain, that's a holy of holy. But they will have in Ethiopian Orthodox Church, they will have 3 sections: chanting, holy of holy.
We are on our road to 100k subscribers, and every single subscription counts. If you are enjoying the content and haven't subscribed yet, now is the perfect time. Hit that button and join our virtual family. And if you'd like to go a step further and support what we do, you can send a super chat right here in the comment section. You can also buy us a cup of coffee through PayPal or M-Pesa using the details on the description box below.
Yesterday they look in 2 groups. First groups have 60 churches, and the last groups have in 1 churches. So today we have to look from the second groups and have 4 churches. So these churches they will have 4 in the symbol of heaven, Jerusalem. So now we are in the first churches, Gabriel and Raphael. So these churches will have 3 steps. The base they have 3 levels. So the level of the church is under here. It is full water. Nobody knows the exact. But the second one is the flat side. The third one is look from the window. So the churches have 3 levels. But the churches you have 2 Gabriel and Raphael. So Gabriel and Raphael. That's why this is justification in front of Jesus, hell to heaven. Which is the right side goes to the heaven, which is select from the left side, which just goes to hell. So human being is after that, justification in front of Jesus. This is said the Bible, King Lalibela, they making the representation of that. So this is Gabriel and Raphael. So the churches, nobody knows the exact way of the churches, because of we have to make in the shortcut way or new bridges. Without that bridges, nobody go to inside of the churches. So the churches, it will be still connecting from the ground to come up there. But the 2 levels, it's hidden, nobody knows the exact. But looking from the full water inside of there. But they have to make in the covering. But in people they found from the water, some of the people they missing. This is very risky to the ground. So no one to the exact way to the ground. It's connecting from the level of the churches. this is original doors from that time. The drainage systems. The drainage systems to make to curve the other side. So you want to come to Lalibela. So if it stay 2 nights or 3 nights, for example, there is the church, mountain churches. There is the church in the top. There is the church different sites in Lalibela. If it is staying 3 nights, so they will have many things to around Lalibela. So there is the churches surrounding, rock churches. They have to sleeping from pilgrimage people to come in Lalibela, so they staying like just like in was before the town of started. So they sleeping inside of the cave. So this is Bethlehem. They preparing Holy Communion was before the history. 4 churches they make together from here: House of Gabriel, House of Father of Lebanos, and House of Mercurius, House of Emmanuel. So now that church is Gabriel and Raphael, that just like justification in front of the human beings after died. So now we have to look it from the symbol of hell. So this is 73 meters dark tunnels. It is connecting 2 churches inside of here. But when you go here, we out the churches too. But actively, it's 35 meters now we have to do that. But the rest of the tunnel is closed based on the security. So now we have to go without a flash. So the right hand is touching the right side, the left hand is protect your heads. So this is a symbol of hell. Ready?
Ready.
Give me your camera. Maybe I know that. Yeah, you can touch in the right hand, but the left hand is protect your head. This is just like a symbol of hell.
Yeah. It's cold down here.
Yeah.
It's cold. Oh, this is crazy. I can't even see you.
Yeah. But that's why this is symbol of hell.
Oh my God.
You okay?
Yes. It's going down.
Yeah. It's a little. So mind your head, because of the roof is like it's very closed. So when you come here, it's very be careful. There is a rock in the left side, the right side. You can close to the right side. So you can come close to the right side.
Okay.
Be careful, yeah. So mind your head. This is very short roof.
What?
This is half of the tunnels. Now we are in half of the tunnels. So it's connecting from the next church. So this is House of Mercurius, but this is like in the second biggest church in here. But it's a tunnels connecting inside of the churches. Imagine, look from the church. You have when you come here, so they out inside of the churches. But because of there is the roof was before collapsing, there is the roof is here. But this is broken half of there. So this is inside of the churches. So it's affected by natural. So the churches it's connected from the tunnel inside of here.
Okay.
But this is House of Mercurius. So now we have to maintain as the rest of the churches. So they're using some services inside of here. But originally they have the roofs around here. You have to understand the tunnels still connected from this church inside of here.
Yeah.
So the next tunnels, the next ways, it's connected from the other churches. End of the tunnels, I will show the next one. So follow me. So this church is House of Emmanuel. So the name of the church is House of Emmanuel. That means God. Emmanuel means God with us. So the churches have one levels. So the second levels have 9 rooms and 9 centers. So the church it's Aksumite design, or when you see from sharpening, from chiseling on the wall, it's Aksumite design. But King Lalibela, they learn from Aksum in the window and then the styles of there in the chiseling. But the church is in which is affected by human beings. It's the purpose of in reconstruction 1954 by Alem peoples. They want to restore to the churches. They don't know the exact restoration systems to that, but it's affecting from the churches. It's a bad restoration from 1954 by this one. But this is a symbol of heaven because of that tunnel is still connecting from underground to the exit or the out of there inside of the churches. But now it's like in closed based on the secret of the churches and connect from the tunnel, but the church is in symbol of heaven. The churches have one gallery. The gallery is in 9 rooms and 9 centers, and it will have in 4 pillars, 4 evangelists. So the name of the church is House of Emmanuel. So this is a symbol of in heaven. So this is the end of the tunnel actually.
Here.
So when you come to here, it will be have to look from the light, because of this is the end of the tunnels. So they will have. This is very just like this is the system of in outside. They will come because they are coming from in the ground. That's why it's closed in here to that.
Yes.
But if it's normally to come the church, this is the exit. They come out,
yes.
But inside the church is inside of the mountain. And so when you go the best spots, they look every churches. So this is a kind of cave churches. So inside of the mountains, everything is like there, but the church is on the top of the mountain, but the church is under here. But this is the father of Lebanos. So in this morning, look from House of Gabriel and the symbol of hell, House of Mercury, House of Emmanuel. The 4 churches under here, everything's like there. But this is the one of in the church inside of the cave. So the name of the church is the father of Lebanos. So Lebanos comes from Romania. So just like in the cave from King Lalibela, they give the name of the church by the saint of father of Lebanos. So this is the father of Lebanos. The church is very small. Inside is very small. There is the 4 pillars. There is the ice in every corner. There is the angel of ice. So this is the chanting, but the time of the church, the chanting, the priests, they have to drums and stickers to do there. But this is the father of Lebanos, but the church is a cave church. This is a kind of cave church.
Yes.
Inside of the cave. But the father of Lebanos, they take in the sticks, but the rocks, they give the water. But this one is like the blessing to the rocks, they give the water. But King Lalibela, they give the name of the churches in by father of Lebanos. So this is all about Lalibela.
Okay.
If you have a question or suggestion. But they have a different church in Lalibela. So the one of the church, 42 kilometers, the church is on water. Inside is the kind of this cave. But that church, I will send the picture of that churches.
Yes.
The name of the church is Medhane Christos, before Lalibela. It's very old.
Okay.
And there is the cave church, the one of in the mountain churches. There is the mountain church also, the hill of the mountain. But they have different churches. If it stay 2 nights or 3 nights, so more than, but you have to the options.
So guys, That wraps up Patrick's tour of Lalibela as well as our adventure across northern Ethiopia. Stay tuned as in the upcoming episodes we will be heading south to explore Omo Valley and the wonders of southern Ethiopia. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and join our virtual travel family. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends and family, and hit the notification bell so that you can never miss on any updates. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next episode. Bye!